For the record, we're gonna start at the end and come back to the beginning, just so y'all don't think I lost my,
The Shelburne police sergeant who struck a bicyclist last fall was back in court today, changing his plea to guilty.
Kyle Kapitansky was on duty when he struck and killed 38-year-old Sean Hayes on Shelburne Road in South Burlington. That's where we find NBC5's Anna Goober now.
Anna was in the courtroom for us today. Anna, what'd you learn?
Yeah, Jack and Lauren, it was right here behind me where that crash took place. But this morning, as you mentioned, Kapitansky changed his plea to guilty to a misdemeanor charge as opposed to a not guilty plea, which he previously had to a felony charge.
With respect to the charge of negligent operation of a motor vehicle, fatality resulting, how do you plead guilty?
The Shelburne police sergeant who struck a bicyclist last November entering a guilty plea in court Thursday, admitting to striking 38-year-old Sean Hayes on Shelburne Road with his cruiser.
You have a requirement and a duty to others who use the road to exercise the diligence and abide by the rules of the road. Kyle acknowledges he didn't do that.
A report analyzing the crash suggests the collision could have been avoided had Kyle Kapitansky been driving the 35-mile-per-hour speed limit. Instead, reports show he was going 10 miles over the limit when he hit Hayes. Originally, Kapitansky pleaded not guilty to felony charges. But under a new plea agreement, the charge has been dropped to a misdemeanor, allowing Kapitansky to avoid a trial and jail time.
Victims here support this plea for the certainty of a guilty verdict. It brings them closer to closure without the emotional toll of a trial.
Dozens of Hayes family members packed the courtroom. Under the agreement, Kapitansky will now serve a sentence of 2 years probation and take part in a restorative justice program. An outcome, the state says, delivers justice.
Yes, justice was served.
Now, in terms of Kapitansky's role with the Shelburne Police Department, we did reach out to the department, and the town of Shelburne actually says that Kapitansky will currently remain on paid administrative leave as the town then reviews official court documents to determine how they will proceed going forward. In South Burlington, Anna Goober, NBC5 News.
A bicyclist is dead after being hit by a Shelburne police cruiser over the weekend. State police say this happened on Route 7 in South Burlington early this morning. The cruiser was being driven by an on-duty officer. ABC 22's Matt Holderman joins us now live in South Burlington at the intersection where this crash occurred. And Matt, there are some more details we are learning tonight.
Yes, Lauren, there are more details. I'll start by saying Vermont State Police is now the lead investigating agency here after it was initially South Burlington Police who responded early this morning. VSP tells me that the man who was killed here is 38-year-old Sean Hayes from Burlington, and they also say the officer who was driving the cruiser that hit and killed him is Sergeant Kyle Kapitansky from Shelburne PD. Now, like you said, this all happened right here at the intersection behind me. This is Route 7 or Shelburne Road, where it intersects with Fayette Drive in South Burlington, and there is a little bit more information to piece together here from VSP. They say Sergeant Kapitansky was driving south on a wet Route 7 at about 2:45 this morning while it was still raining out, and Hayes was also traveling south on his bike and was towing a trailer behind him. Now, Kapitansky struck Hayes with his cruiser, leaving some damage on the right front of his car. It is not clear how fast Kapitansky was going just yet, but Hayes was pronounced dead at the scene. Police did not say if Hayes was wearing a helmet or any lights or reflective gear, nor if his bike or trailer had any lights or reflectors on them. South Burlington Police called Vermont State Police at about 3 a.m. to get help from their crash reconstruction team, and the state took over the lead role in the investigation this afternoon. They have also assigned at least 1 or 2 detectives from their criminal division to this case. They named 2 detective sergeants in an email, Stephen Gelder and Jesse Robson, both from the Williston Barracks. I also reached out to Shelburne Police this morning and left my contact information for Chief Michael Thomas, but as of right now, I have not heard back yet. It is also unclear if Sergeant Kapitansky has been placed on administrative leave or if he is still on the job. One other piece of info we do know about him, he served as the Richmond police chief for a short period of time before working at Shelburne PD. State police are asking anyone who has information on the crash or anyone who saw cut early this morning to reach out to them at their Williston barracks, and I will keep working to get more details on this, and we'll share them with you once we have them. But for now, reporting live in South Burlington, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.
Did y'all know that there's a video on YouTube titled "Trans Woman Confronting Matt Walsh Takes Unexpected Turn"? That's the title of the video. Trans woman confronting Matt Walsh takes unexpected turn. Rest in peace to Mr. Sean Hayes, 38-year-old of Burlington. Pretty sure this is Vermont. Vermont, what's up, man? I am Trailhand Bill reporting live from South Florida. We made it to Monday, guys. Praise God. I hope your entire week is blessed. And I hope you appreciate those blessings. Trans woman confronting Matt Walsh takes unexpected turn. I'm not a fan of censoring people's comments, thoughts, opinions. I don't do that shit, man. You got to go way out of the way for me to engage in that type of activity, because I think so far outside of the box, people usually want to do that to me and have in my life. And so I'm just not a fan of it. I'll leave that there. If I see people like on my other platforms threatening in no uncertain terms violence, I don't play that big. If you that serious about doing something to somebody that you're typing on the internet, go do it. I don't want you to do that, but go do it. Don't put it on my platforms. I ain't with that. I don't promote senseless violence. And much of it is. And on this platform, I had to delete a comment yesterday on the video about the Florida cops opening fire on a kid and using him for target practice. He was in his house playing video games, and a cop and his daughter were doing target practice, and they bullets went into the house and shot the young boy. And somebody jumped in the comments and said, well, if he's illegal, I don't care. Now, I don't do politics, but I be on the internet, you know what I mean, like everybody else. And usually when I see those terms, they have racist connotations, and I immediately hid that user from the channel, man. And that's not something I do often at all. So I just want to be clear, man. If your ass come over here race baiting, I guess that's the term I should use, or just being racist, I'm more familiar with that one. Hey, we all could do that. You know what I mean? We could be racist against every other race, and every other race can be racist against us. And some of the racism, or what is termed and deemed to be racism and racist, would be absolutely true about each and every one of us. So I just want you to know I don't promote that shit over here. I don't like it, and it pisses me off as much as the things I see in these videos I cover. I'm not one of those people who believe that race doesn't have any. I think that's an excuse that people use because they don't like to have uncomfortable conversations. And I don't mean any disrespect to some of my audience who I know feels that way. That's why we express our opinions over here without censorship. But when people say race has nothing to do with it, it ain't about race, and nah, that's a motherfucking lie, big dog. We're all the same. Yes, in many ways we are, in many ways we aren't, and God created it that way for a reason. And that's not something we have to ignore, because sometimes race causes a divide between us. We need to have those conversations so we can conquer those divides, not pretend that it doesn't exist. They don't exist because we don't want our comfortable zones upset. I ain't with that shit. So I'm not afraid to have those conversations about race and racism, but I don't play just using it to pick at people. And that's why that rant was so damn long. Find you something safe to do.
Did y'all know that video was on YouTube? I want to read something else from the print article. You can read it yourself. If you read the print article, it will be in the pinned comment and description, Lord willing. Leading up to the crash, the affidavit stated, Kapitansky, he's a sergeant, used to be a chief, had YouTube videos playing on a computer tablet mounted in his cruiser. A review of that device showed several YouTube web addresses accessed between 2:29 a.m. and 2:40 a.m., the document said. The review by investigators also stated there was no evidence of user interaction with the device during that time period. The crash took place about 2:40 a.m. So the videos were playing, but they said the investigation found that he wasn't actually using the device. And a link to the last video was provided in the filing, and it was titled, Trans Woman Confronting Matt Walsh Takes an Unexpected Turn. You murdered a father, family. You murdered a father. Now, every state I've ever been in, and I'm not going to pretend there's many, nobody really gives a damn, including the Johnnies, if you're driving 5 to 10 miles over the speed limit. So I can't even pretend. If anything, I have to, I guess, commend them for bringing that up. But then again, I can't. It's the Johnnies. They probably hiding behind that as an excuse. But that's what they're saying. That caused the crash because he was driving that far over the speed limit, because if he wasn't, it could have been prevented. I think it also could have been prevented if he was just paying attention to the damn road and not worried about what Matt Walsh and men who pretend to be women are doing. You murdered a father, and they let you plead to negligent operation of a vehicle resulting in fatality. You murdered a father. This incident happened November the 11th, 2024. In a couple of weeks, that will be a year, you have been at home on paid vacation since you hit that innocent man with your vehicle and murdered him. That's what you got for being guilty of homicide. I wonder what his kids think about this. They said the courtroom was full of his loved ones. I wonder what his father, if he's still alive, thinks about this. I wonder if anybody in your circle, family or friends, are willing to be honest with you and tell you what you did here. It seems like I heard the prosecutor say that the victims were on board with this sentence. Now, I'm a Christian, guys, and I understand if you're new here, call me the fool. There's nothing you can say to me that I haven't heard already or that the Bible didn't prepare me for. Nothing I could think of anyway, but I don't. The regular viewers will tell you I don't get no damn. You free to feel how you feel, just like I am too. Your opinion ain't gonna stop me from believing Christ is Lord and Master. And part of that worldview is that we forgive all because all has been forgiven to us. And so I get it if it is true that the family was on board with this very light sentence. That's their prerogative. I can't tell them how to want or seek justice for injustice that has been wrought upon them and their loved ones. I'm not people who try to tell other people how they got to live life. That ain't my thing. You're free to, I don't even have to say it. It's obvious. Everybody's free to do that themselves unless God takes that liberty from us, which he has not. So how in the hell can any other human do it? I guess your ass think you got. With that being said, in my biased opinion, I wish they had more to say about this situation. And that's just me being biased. I'm being totally honest saying that. Because not to just simply condemn this Johnny, but because in too many situations we see things like this and cops just get off the hook, man. The prosecutor, the government, his comrade, his colleague, his cohort sat up there and said justice was served. How in the hell could justice be served when he murdered a man? He'd been on paid vacation for almost a year, and then he gets to go home with a slap on the wrist. I got at least 2 videos I seen recently, man, where people hit cops in cars. And in both of those videos, man, they were in the courtrooms being sentenced. I think one of the videos, the dude died, the cop died, and maybe in the other one too as well, but I can't remember. But I know for sure in both of those videos, they were in courtrooms being sentenced, and it wasn't slap on the wrist sentences. Y'all should know why I'm saying that. This is the line that they've drawn in the sand. Their lives are more valuable than ours. If it happens to them, there must be recompense. If it happens to us, hey, just understand that cops make mistakes. We got to reward them while we figure out how, financially reward them while we figure out how to explain this to the American public in a way that they'll understand the slap on the wrist we're about to give them. I'm a 45-year-old man. I was 35 7 years ago. In the last 7 years of my life, man, I praise God for the ups and the downs, and to think that they could have been taken like they were from this young man in this situation because a cop wanted to be watching YouTube videos or even just listening to him while he was driving down pedestrian streets. It's as unthinkable as it is to know that this situation is a reality for this gentleman and his family. I'm Trail Hemp Bill. Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel.
Either way, y'all be safe.